And we are live. Unfortunately, the internet was being my ex. You know what I mean? And so it took me some time to get the internet going again. It's not 100% yet. I can see that, but I think it is recovering. More or less, it has recovered now. So yes, we are back with another show, and yes, as you may be seeing the caption, there will be a few new things coming in and coming up on this show, and we have some quite a good set of topics to talk about as well. So before we get into it, let's give it a few minutes and let's build it up. And big up to Khan. Khan is in the chat, and Khan is saying, "Get me on." I can get you on, Khan, but I can only have you on for 5 minutes. So if you're okay with that, definitely you can join in, because after 5 minutes I will have to drop you out, and I need to have a discussion with Adam. So if you can possibly come on for 5 minutes, definitely do come on. Big up to the people watching. And yes, so we have Khan in the house. He may come in, and anyone else who wants to come in can definitely come in for the initial phase. And once we have a discussion, we can start off. And I have my guest right now here, Adam, with whom I'll be having the main discussion, but he's in the backstage. And I'll quickly have a 5 minute discussion with Khan as well and get in Adam as well. Let me add both of them and change the layout quickly. Adam,
Let me knock your TV down for a minute.
Are you there? Guys there?
Yeah, can you hear me? You hear me?
Am I audible to you? One sec. Maybe it's the earphone.
Can you hear me? I'll come back. No,
just right. The earphones, multiple inputs. So from YouTube, I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Adam.
Okay.
Yes, and I have Khan here as well. Khan, are you able to hear me?
Yep.
Hi, Khan. How are you?
My friend Delhi is in the chat, but he's only in the chat.
Okay. How are you, Khan?
Not too good after that performance.
Oh, you're a Man City fan, aren't you?
Yes, Khan is a Manchester City fan.
Well, it's only one game lost, that's all. Okay, the way they lost is a different matter. But you know, at the end of the day, it's only 3 points lost. Move on to the next game, really.
Yes, and let me do one thing, because this is getting on my nerves now. I am quickly switching from the Wi-Fi to the hotspot. Just hold on a second. Yes, I'm back. So I just quickly changed the internet. I switched on from the Wi-Fi.
No problem, man. No worries.
Wi-Fi to the data, because it was getting annoying as well. And yeah, so Khan, a bad loss there for Manchester City.
Yep.
I could see you in Daniel's chat. You said that we are not winning the title this season. Not anymore.
I don't really see us winning it, man. It's just the same. We had the same problem last season. It's always one problem that we weak left back and centre back. Like if you think about it, I watched the full game, and I also wrote a lot of notes about how we played. That was just poor as well, man. I mean, I know it's just the start of the season, but then you gotta look at it. We should be winning these games. It feels like against Liverpool or a top 6 team. I know Leicester are a very good team, but still we shouldn't be getting trashed like 5-2. That's just too bad.
I blame Pep for it. You know why? Why did he let Angelino go on loan last season? Now the guy enjoyed his time at Leipzig. He didn't want to come back now to Manchester City. Other thing, Zinchenko was looking good in his season 1 season ago, not the last season, the season before that. He was looking good, and he decided suddenly that I want Mendy in. I want who was the other player he got? Cancelo, and he's not playing the right kind of lineup. He's shuffling and playing around with the lineup. He's fooling around with the lineup. Eventually, the players get pissed. They don't get settled, and now he is paying the price for it.
If I can come in, Vivek, Nitesh, that do you think, as an Arsenal fan, do you think that since Arteta left Man City, there's a problem within his team, his backroom staff?
No, I don't think so. I think the
No?
problem was always in his frontline stuff. You can say the team. That is the front line that I meant with respect to the team. And the other thing is, I think Pep was honestly a bit overrated. Apart from his time at Barca,
I have always said that. I wouldn't call him fraudiola, which is what many people, many non-Man City fans call. I think that's a bit disrespectful. But I have always said that he only goes to clubs with money, and unlike Mourinho won the Champions League with Porto. Inter didn't really have much money when he won a Champions League with Inter. And yes, okay, the media darlings at the moment is Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp. But Klopp, in my opinion, Klopp is much better manager than Pep, simply because he's done things without any money, whereas Pep is. Have you heard regarding Man City? They signed Ruben Diaz from Sevilla overnight. It was announced about 2:00 Spanish time last night. They've already made moves in the defensive position. But I mean, Mark Hughes bought Vincent Kompany. Pep Guardiola walked into that team with Kompany. Sorry?
1 second. You're talking about money. Look how much players Chelsea have bought this season.
I'm not talking about money. What I'm talking about is that the players in which Kompany was such part of the Man City spine throughout their glory years, and it seems that Pep never thought beyond Kompany because he was getting towards the end of his time with Man City. And last season, they had a complete, jigsaw puzzle in the centre-half positions, and nothing really has changed. Now, I know Diaz has signed overnight, and I'm sure that, he'll make a difference. But this signing should have been before a ball was kicked this season.
and I'll just say big up to Dali and big up to Tristan in the chat. Dali saying we Arsenal fans finally started to see other big teams have bad defense while we satisfied without solid defense. See, the thing is, I think Pep has the same problem that Arsene Wenger had. They never know how to buy the right kind of defenders. If they had a good defense at the club, they were happy with it and they got things done with it. But once the defenders left, like in this case, Kompany has retired. Some of their other defenders have left. Even today, it was quite evident that as a midfield and a leader, as a captain, David Silva was missing. If had David Silva probably been there, they wouldn't have given up so easily. And these guys like Mendy is a joke. I mean, he's good attack
He's
wise.
shit, man. He's shit.
Yes, he's. I'm saying the same thing. He's good attacking. He's good as an attacking player, but defensive wise, he's as bad as Kolasinac or some of the other left backs that are there in the league. And I don't know why. That is why I was saying when Zinchenko had a very good season, he was also picked for his national team. After that, Pep suddenly decided that I don't want to play Zinchenko anymore.
Yeah, wasn't it an issue after the Lyon game, where that player's wife went to social media and kicked off? I can't remember now, but there was an issue which
no, I think he kissed the TV reporter or something. So that is what Zinchenko did. I think.
I don't know. I'm sure if I recall, he was dropped or something for the Lyon game or something, and his wife took to social media and slammed Pep. And as a result, he hasn't. He had the last season in the Champions League.
Yeah, no, I think I remember one of the incidents. I think he kissed a TV reporter or someone like who was taking an interview, and I
Ah,
think
okay.
yeah, that was also one incident where he was dropped because of that. But ultimately, Pep needs to
At
think
the end of the day, you
beyond.
got a squad. If one player is better than the other, we go to work. When we go to work, the likelihood of us getting on and be friends with everybody in that workplace is very unlikely. However, for the benefit of the company we work for, we have to work together, no matter what, no
And
matter if you don't like that person or not. So,
how
anyway.
does a brainless start like Mendy get ahead of Angelino in the squad? I don't understand that. How did he manage to do that? Leipzig must be
Mendy's like
thanking Pep Guardiola. Yeah,
Mendy's
Okan.
like he's like the same type of player like Kolasinac. I think they both like same players. But the problem is that when 2 years ago, what they did 2 years ago, Vincent Company left us, and we knew that we were going to have problems defensively. We didn't replace him. So whose fault is that? Pep's fault, isn't it?
Well,
Because
they
we
brought in
need.
John Stones, didn't they? But the thing is,
I mean, we got
when
Laporte.
Pep
Laporte is a world class centre back, but then if you think about it, you've got Otamendi and Stones there. I mean, they are good
No,
defenders.
Otamendi, if I can just jump in there, Otamendi has been part of the Ruben Diaz deal. Um, I think it's around about 45 million plus Otamendi have gone to Benfica. So,
Yep. So, anyways, Otamendi is crap.
uh,
He's similar to Mendy. He's similar to Mendy. Otamendi, Mendy, they even rhyme. So, but at the end of the day, he can't defend. The only thing that he's good at is probably bullying someone or trying to score a goal. That's all. That's all he tends to do. That is all Otamendi can do, honestly. So I don't know what kind of defenders he's signing. He's signing on all bullshit defenders. He's only signing more attacking players, and that is the problem. When you keep signing such defenders who are not going to be any good or any use to you, and even for a short term, what's the point? I mean, how can someone choose Mendy over Angelino? Is it's crystal clear who is the better defender and the better player and less injury prone? But he has stuck to Mendy and let Angelino go on loan. And now the guy has enjoyed his time with Leipzig. He thinks Leipzig will be a more European threat than Manchester City, and he doesn't want to come back.
do you think it's a bit arrogant of Pep the way he's because the Leon defeat as well was a bit odd. Let's just say, is he trying to do something outlandish for his ego? Can you see what I'm getting at? Because
I,
we had the tiki taka from Pep when he was at Barca.
yeah.
In my opinion, he didn't do much at Bayern. Does he want to take footballing tactics to another level in bringing something out? Because he hasn't got. I mentioned it many times on your show, Natesh. A good team has a strong spine down the middle. Centre halves, good goalkeeper, strong centre halves, strong midfield, centre midfielder, and a strong striker. That's why Chelsea was so good with, Czech, Terry, uh,
We've got Kevin De
Makaleli,
Bruyne.
Drogba. But there's a very massive weakness in the centre half, as in physicality. Do you know what I'm getting at? It's no Man City centre half at the moment who will make sure that make sure that he knows the striker knows that he's there. Can you see what I'm getting at? It's just
Yeah,
very weak.
Yeah, Khan, go ahead.
we've got Leeds next week. Expect us to get fully 3 points in there. Smash him easy. But I just don't
But
get
one more thing,
what I
yeah,
just don't get what
I,
is like going wrong with the team. Like, well, 2 years ago we got when we got 100 points. I still remember we got 100 points. Otamendi was in that team. Stones was in that team. Mendy was in that team, and Walker was in that team. All of
Yeah,
them.
but Company was also in that team, or wouldn't he? And if you think
And
of that,
Henry was
and if you think of that team, you had Company, which was a strong centre half. You had Fernandinho, which was a strong midfield general, or as old-fashioned, strong midfield general. And then, you had Aguero, although he's a small guy, you couldn't push him around. He's not like a feather. The strong midfield general. This is what Arsenal fans have been crying out. They want party. You need someone like a Vieira type midfielder in the middle of a park that doesn't get bossed around. And exactly the same, Tony Adams or Company. Like don't get bossed around. Roy Keane, exactly the same. Vidic. It
okay.
and
Are we playing only at the
this Man City midfield central defensive area and midfield as well are very weak.
We've got De
Weak.
Bruyne.
Yeah, but
Best
De
midfielder in the
Bruyne,
world.
but with great respect, De Bruyne is a playmaker. He's not someone who will, you've got Rodri, I suppose, but in my opinion, Rodri's no Fernandinho. Fernandinho in his prime was twice the player Rodri is.
No, I think he's not been given time. He's in and out of the team. Again, that comes down to Pep. Gundogan keeps going in and out of the team. The backup quality. Look at Gabriel Jesus like an example. The best example. Is he capable of replacing Aguero? Not in 100 years, not in 1,000 years. He's not. Look at some of the centre backs that he has gotten. John Stones is not looking good. Otamendi is crap. Mendy is crap. Apart from that, Kyle Walker has a mistake or two in him. But
I disagree
today,
with you.
yeah.
I think Stones in his prime is good, but yeah, look at Stones. He hasn't really got the game time last season. We've had Laporte, we had injury problem last season. We had to play Fernandinho as centre back.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm hearing, and it's a very weak rumour, but I'm hearing that West Ham have inquired about Stones. Whether or not Stones want to go West Ham is a different kettle of fish, but West Ham on loan, that is.
Our strongest centre backs could be Laporte and Ake. This is our strongest team. Edison Innes, left back. I don't really know about left back. Do you think we can play Cancelo left back? Cancelo.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see what this Ruben Diaz guy is like. He's a young guy, very got leadership qualities, but we'll see if he can transfer those qualities over to the Premier League.
I think they will play 3 at the back then once he comes in, because they can't play 4 at the back. It's the same problem that Arsenal had before we got Tierney in. So they will resolve to maybe 3 at the back.
Yeah.
3 at the back, 2 wing backs. That could be the new way to go. Then Mendy may not be impacted in such a way, because he will have to focus mainly on attack and do a bit of defending. So then he can fit in, and even Zinchenko can fit in better. So I think they will resolve to 3 at the back. Nathan Ake, maybe John Stones till Ruben Diaz is ready, and Laporte. So these 3 guys, and once Ruben Diaz is ready, John Stones out. The other 2, Nathan Ake and Laporte with Ruben Diaz. So I think
Here's
that could be.
Here's a question for
You
you.
still think we can?
Here's a question for you.
Do you still think we can?
Sorry, Khan. Go ahead, man.
Do you still think we can win the league?
I didn't think it at the start of the season, because I said the same thing. They don't have leaders anymore in Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne is not a leader. Yeah.
If Liverpool then it has to be us.
No,
it's not.
The
league finishes in May. There's a lot
exactly.
of
and there's people out there. And there's people out there saying, "Oh no, look, Liverpool are already champions." I even said it's the second game of the season, because the problem is in football, you just don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. Chelsea can win.
Unfortunately, that's social media for you.
Leicester could win the league. Leicester could win the league if they keep playing like this.
Really,
who knows?
Here's a question for you, yeah. And Khan, I know you're a Man City fan. Here's a question for you as well. Have the board been informed that Pep is going to go? hence the reason why the board hadn't really backed him during this pre-season.
Sorry, could you say that again, please?
Have the board been informed that Pep is going to leave Man City at the end of the season, and therefore the board haven't backed him during this pre-season?
Well, to be honest, I don't really know about that, but the way it's going, I think this is going to be his last season. I mean, he's been... How long has Pep been here for? 4 years, is it?
4 years now, yeah.
4 years.
I'm just wondering whether the board are thinking, right, Pep is going to go. We don't want to bring more Pep players in, so that the next manager who comes in don't really like them, so they just end up being a waste of money.
Our next manager could be Pochettino. I'll probably take Pochettino as our next manager.
What do you think? What do you think, Nitesh?
About the fact that you think the Pep is going? No, I don't think so. I don't think the board have backed him this pre-season. Yeah, but the thing, no, I think he has been backed because he's gotten the center back that he wanted. He's gotten. Look, trying to possibly get another center back. Ruben Dias is coming in, as you said, 2 center backs. He's already getting them in. Apart from that, he has got Ferran Torres, who's one of the best talents in Europe, and he already has a good squad. See, the thing is now he's not able to use this good squad. That is the main problem. Raheem Sterling chokes when the team needs him the most. So that is not up to Pep. The other problem is the only main issue that last season I had with him were 2 or 3 things. One, he needs to get another backup striker. Gabriel Jesus is crap, and
exactly.
he needs to use.
This is what I said as well.
Yeah.
We need a striker.
Yeah,
because after that, if Aguero is injured, you got Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah.
The problem is Gabriel Jesus cannot really finish like Aguero, can he?
Yeah,
You know?
and the other thing is Phil Foden needs to be given regular time. Mahrez needs to be given regular time. These guys play a game. I put a funny comment in Daniel's chat today. I said Mahrez scored a goal. Next game he's going to be dropped to the bench because that is what he was doing last season. Mahrez was scoring in so many games. Next season you would say Mahrez, where is he? He's on the bench. He's on the bench. He's not starting games. It was becoming a joke. So at the end of the day, go ahead.
What about Bernardo Silva? He's a good player.
Bernardo Silva, he was player of the season 2 seasons ago. Last season, he was struggling for game time. Pep doesn't have his own starting 11 fixed in his head. His head is getting too big for him now. He is not able to handle it.
His ego. His ego. I think
it's not ego. I think he's become stupid.
I think it could well be. He's seen Klopp go past him, with management style and technique and PR as well. I mean, there's a lot of people. Forget about I live in Spain, right? And remember when Pep was wearing the black ribbon? Yeah, it was regarding Spanish media reporters getting locked up, and it's a lot. I think the media the media still love Pep, but I think football fans have lost patience with him. He's the biggest hypocrite going. Man City, I don't think people respect Man City anymore because, okay, they got away with FFP issues in the end, but we all know what they were doing. We all know they cheated. It was just the way they done it. The way they done it got around the rules at the time, and I think I used to go to Man City years ago.
Can you please give evidence how it cheated?
Yeah, I'll give you evidence. No worries at all.
Give us evidence.
Right? Okay, no worries. Well, you look at the income during that time. What was it, 2014? Whoa! Hang on. You asked me a question, and I'm responding. You look at the income levels, yeah, because I've done a newspaper report on this. You look at the income levels during that time, 2014, 2015, right? The income levels weren't good, but yet they went out and they bought De Bruyne, Sterling, and other big name signings to get around that, the owner of Manchester City, or the family, or the sheikh, or whatever you want to call him, okay, the Qatar owners then used their airline, Qatar Airways, to start sponsoring the training pitch. That is why.
You mean the Emirates?
That's how.
Emirates.
Sorry, Emirates. Sorry. Emirates started sponsoring a training pitch, to get around. But if you look in the background of Emirates, they didn't have the funding to actually do that kind of sponsorship. Hang on, Nitesh.
I got it wrong as well. Etihad, not even the Emirates.
Yeah. Sorry,
my bad. I was listening to you.
No. But if you look at the books of Etihad Airways during that time, they did not have the funding to do such a sponsorship for the stadium and the training pitch. They did not have that kind of funding. It was the money was ploughed in via the Qatari, sheikhs, using Etihad Airways to get around FFP. That is correct. You can look at it. You can look at the background information. I'll probably have a knock on the door after this show from some guys in fucking balaclavas. But I'm telling you, if you look into it, the airline in which they used did not have a fund. In fact, it didn't even make profit. That airline didn't even make profit. So how the hell could they do such a sponsorship? They got caught out. Unfortunately, the legal team in which represented them, have done a job very, very well. But the facts are still there. So that can, because I've done a report on it, and I will, until the day I die, I will always call Man City cheats until the day I die, because of that period.
And if you don't stop targeting the sheikhs too much, they will ensure that it happens.
Oh, geez, I'm telling you, I'm double locking my door tonight, Nitesh, I'm telling you.
So yeah, Harvey is in the backstage. Let me get him on as well. So yes, Harvey is here, and I know he's gonna troll Manchester City a bit. Yeah, go ahead, Khan.
Oh, you're saying we bought our success. What about Chelsea?
Sorry?
When the manager, when the owner took that money. What about Chelsea?
Well, when Chelsea started it, because I went to Chelsea years ago, like when Chelsea had to be sold to Ken Bates for £1. But that's another story. When Chelsea started it, when Mourinho went there first as a manager, and in one summer, they had Drogba, they had Lampard, Joe Cole, boom. That was before FFP. FFP.
Yeah, they were lucky that FFP didn't exist.
Exactly.
FFP didn't exist at that point of time.
Exactly.
And if it had existed,
they had a baseline to go from.
Yes, and if FFP had existed, I think I heard someone from Chelsea also make this statement that probably Roman would have never bought Chelsea in the first place if FFP had existed.
Yeah.
It is because they found this loophole. They were able to put in a lot of money.
And that's why they're spending now, because they didn't have a transfer window for a year and a half. And the way you can go around FFP is that because this is why all transfer payments now are going in installments. So if you spread the installments out, you can get around FFP that way. Chelsea did not have a transfer window last time around, so they're using that year to get around FFP. Hence the reason why in which they've been spending a lot this summer.
Yep, I understood. I think Khan's mic was lagging there. It was crackerly, as James is saying in the chat. So anyways, I think Khan will just be back. I think he's just trying to solve that issue out. But yes,
sorry, I thought it was his brain taken away, to be honest, but never mind.
No. So I think Harvey, the Manchester United fan, is really happy. Manchester United won. I had no doubt it was a penalty. There were no two ways about it. But I think he was more pissed out at the trolls that were going around rather than the United like hatred that is coming out. Anyways, but I think it was a genuine penalty. So, Harvey, what is your opinion on that game and this game?
I feel bad for City, to be honest. I think that they haven't done enough in the transfer market this season with Ferran Torres and Nathan Ake. He's a good player, obviously, but they need more. And it's the same with us. We need more from our board. They're not supporting us. I've said it all, and I'm going to say it again. Nothing's going to change, though. But the penalty, again, it was a penalty. I'm going to say it was a penalty. And you can say Penandes, you can say Maguire, whatever you want to say. I'm saying it's a penalty.
But why would someone say Maguire? Harry Maguire doesn't even score penalties.
He got the penalty though, didn't he?
It wasn't. But I mean, it was. He tried to head a ball, and it wouldn't even have gone in because there was a man on the line. So it was all Neil Maupay gifting you a 3-pointer there. You can say.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing though. If it would have happened for Arsenal, City, Cardiff, you would have.
Don't mention Cardiff, mate. We'd be lucky to get out our own half. Never mind have a penalty.
I know, but you'd say definitely. You'd go for it. It was a penalty, and it was the same thing that happened again today at Spurs. They had the same thing.
Yep. See the Spurs one. Again. I think they were a bit unlucky, but I think it hit the hand. So at the end of the day, it's the referee's call, right? So that is the thing.
Yeah.
I just wish they got rid of VAR and give it to referee discretion, like they did years ago. Years ago, it was a case of handball. However, not deliberate handball. So a guy couldn't kick it out the hand, and it'd be a penalty. I just wish they'd go back to the old rules. I really do. This VAR seems to be killing the banter after games, if I'm honest with you. Because
you can't celebrate a goal anymore. You can't celebrate a goal anymore.
No, exactly. No, you're right. You're absolutely right, man. Absolutely right.
Could I get this? If you have like another stream, could I get this file on?
Yeah, sure. I've sent you the link.
Not today, like another day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, another day. So, sure, no worries. The only thing that Adam was against was no kids. He doesn't like kids. Neither having his own, neither bringing on others.
Geez, I tell you what, we have a night, Natesh. I have to use my headphones, right? Because, but I tell you what, I thought I was in primary school. I thought I was in kindergarten. Honestly, it was. And I didn't like the fact that I was drinking in front of 9-year-old kids. I thought that was a bit odd.
Adam, I don't want to kill your vibe, but here comes a 9-year-old.
No. Man, if I want to get this fun, like, I want to get the city fun.
George,
honestly, like,
one sec, hold on. George, your echo is echoing.
Nitish?
No, it's not echoing. It's just in Exeter.
Hold on. His stream is echoing.
Town FC.
Nitish?
Well, we are getting cancelled because
Yes, Khan, go ahead.
Is it okay if I on the stream get the city fan? Like, he's like,
yeah, I said yes. You can just let me know. We can plan that out.
Because I don't really know much about financial play and all that. Like,
I think George dropped out. I think he'll connect. But let me quickly go through a few comments till then.
No, I only come back to you on that because you asked me a question. That's all. That's the reason why I come back to you. You asked me a question. You wanted proof, and I've already seen the proof because I done a newspaper report on it.
Yeah, and a lot of Khan, with respect to that, see, the thing is that at the end of it all, UEFA told them you pay £10,000. I think that was £10 million, and they let go of it. So that is
The
how
problem is, I know,
UEFA is working. Yeah,
problem is you can
go
have
ahead.
a discussion with some other guy because he's actually got a lot of football knowledge. Because I don't really know much. Because like I'm kind of young to be honest. So
Yeah, no, but you shouldn't have asked me that question. You basically can't.
No
Let's be
worries.
completely honest. No, let's be honest, Natesh. He asked me that question because he thought he'd catch me out. But then when I come back to him with my answer, I done game, set, and match.
No, but he does
Let's be
not know
completely
about it. That's
honest.
okay. So
Well, so
maybe
what
when
if he does
if
not know?
the
Why
fans,
ask me? If he does not know, why ask me?
why can't he ask you what he doesn't know about?
Because he said, "Well, prove it. Well, prove it." So I
No,
said,
he said,
"Okay,
what
I'll
proof do
prove
you
it."
have? Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
you have given the
you know,
details. I don't agree
and
with some
now
of the details that you have also given. But anyways, but at the end of the day, the fact that they had to pay £10 million shows that they were
does it
not clean.
does any of know? Does any of you know who Ray is? Ray,
Who's who?
Ray from City Fan TV.
No, I don't know Ray from City Fan TV. Adam, do you know who Ray is from City Fan TV?
no.
Nope, none of us.
He's been on
I
a
don't
Blue
think.
podcast.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen the Blue podcast?
nope.
No.
Oh,
I'll be honest. Got better things to do in life.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I've never even heard of City
Not
Fan
not
No,
with
TV.
respect to Manchester
me
City,
neither.
but we haven't seen it. Unfortunately, we haven't seen it. But having a discussion with anyone, getting to more people, know more people, isn't something that we mind. So we can always do it.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
John is highlighting the VAR is like the end of the world, because that rule, the penalty rule now, and if they keep going like this, it will be the end of the world. And this is the first step in 10 rules time. Football will not be football. Let's see. And VAR out. I have had enough of it. It's a joke. And
Football isn't football anymore.
I think the problem is the implementation. Their implementation is very bad. I think, but
Yeah.
the problem is how do you if it is an offside, how do you instantly say it is an offside or instantly say it is a goal? Now there is some technology like in cricket. If you cross a line, it automatically makes a sound. So, but unfortunately, VAR with respect to offsides will be in motion. It's a dynamic thing. So the problem is, how do you instantly say whether it is offside or not? And the celebration is also instantaneous. So it becomes a problem. Ultimately, they want to make the right calls, but then how does one decide or get the right decisions instantly? So
Ritesh,
that is another problem. Yeah.
are you still doing the coronavirus pandemic episodes? Like, you know, when we did a stream together, me, you, and Adam, like a couple of weeks ago.
Let's see. I haven't done any more since then because I've been occupied by work. But definitely, I'll give an update maybe today, or I'll inform you on Instagram definitely as well about it. And I was quickly going through a few comments. James is saying, "Yeah, so true, John. I've lost love for of the game. The referee is the boss, and at the end of not twat in the box." And George is saying, "I left because
Bravo,
I
bravo,
felt like
bravo, bravo, bravo,
chat shit
bravo.
about Exeter, but actually Grimsby is." Let's not get into it again. And John is saying they are trying to make it like American sports to make more money. James probably, and again James agree with John. But yeah, so going back to the matter in hand. So there were a total of 3 penalties in the game today. Any complaints about the penalties? Let's start with Khan. Khan, did you have any complaints about the penalties, or you think all 3 of them were penalties?
Um, honestly, I think they were all penalties. Like, I can't complain about it. But this VAR thing, like the way they're doing, it's not VAR. It's like the can't. I'm trying to think. Trying to think. I'm not that sure to be honest. The rule of the VAR, like the rules, I don't
Yeah.
really get. I don't really think they're fair. Like, I mean, last season it was worse, but yeah.
But
Yep. I
I
Go
can't. I
ahead, Adam.
thought you. I in the live chat Oh, in Daniel's live chat, you were claiming that the referee was cheating.
I mean, but Michael Oliveira the cheater.
But if you're now saying the penalties were penalties, well, how else was he cheating?
Yep, that is one more thing again, Khan. That if the penalties are penalties, I think then it is justified that he has given the right decision, and VAR also has not overturned it. So let's go on to Adam. What do you think? All the penalties were penalties, or I thought one? I think the
You know,
third
hand,
one looked
hand on
a bit
heart,
soft.
Nitesh, hand on
Yeah.
heart. I was watching Daniel's show, which, by the way, was a great show. Claude was a great guest on there. Hand on heart, I was watching that, but on my TV over here in Spain, I was watching another game. so I was watching Oviedo against. Oh fuck! I can't remember now.
Okay.
But
But
basically, because I was using my internet to watch Daniel's stream, I was going by what they were saying, and Claude was saying he was describing everything, and he was saying, "Oh, blatant penalty." Walker apparently didn't need a dive in, and he did. I don't know whether that
that was one.
was correct.
Number one, I think. I think that was number one. But I'm talking about number three, which looked a bit soft. The Mendy one,
Okay.
even though it was kind of a foul, but it looked kind of soft. The third
Well,
one.
after this show, because the Wolves West Ham game is going on at the moment, after this show, I was going to watch a highlights of both the Wolves West Ham and Man City Leicester. So, unfortunately, for this time, I really don't have an answer for you.
Okay, and Harvey, did you see the game? Did you see the three penalties?
Yeah, I saw the three penalties. I can definitely agree with you again there. The third penalty just looked too soft for me. You know, he pulled him in his shoulder. I understand that, but there's no need to jump up in the air like he did. And I don't know how he got a penalty for that, to be honest.
Yep, that is the thing. And VAR is there to rectify any error. But all they do is sit in the box and maybe have a chat. Maybe they're having those hot dogs and those chilled beers, and that is all they're doing there. Yeah.
Can we
This
talk
is why I
about the
understand.
Liverpool Arsenal game?
About the Arsenal game?
Can we talk about the Liverpool Arsenal game, which is tomorrow? That preview.
Sure, we'll have a discussion on that as well. But we were having a discussion on the penalty that was awarded, the third one. And
But-
yes,
but-
go ahead, Harvey. Yeah, go ahead.
Simon, thing about VAR is that when you watch on TV, you can see a hand going, touching the player's bloody shoulder or whatever, right? But you can't see because they always do slow motion. Now, if anyone played football during any time, you can have a push, but surely you with a VAR kind of technology, you can't see the kind of how hard they pull, how hard they push. So when a player could touch one finger and the player go down, but because VAR can see that one finger bloody touching the guy's back or the penalty would be awarded. It's ridiculous. You can't see the amount of pressure in which a defender puts on a player. Because attackers now, the moment in which they feel anything, they'll just go down like a sack of spuds.
But now I think one thing has improved, that the referee can go to the screen and watch it himself. I'm
Hold on.
The reason I'm saying it has improved is because tomorrow, if there is an inquiry about the referee, if any of the decision is recalled, the referee has to say why he gave it as a penalty and why he stuck to his decision. So if he is watching it himself on screen, he is able to say, I saw it on screen, and this is the reason that I thought that it was a penalty. So he has that in his head already, and he doesn't have to defend a decision that was not overturned by VAR. He has to counter and argue on the basis of what he saw and what he has given. So that is why it reduces the chances of an error, because the referee who is making the call is actually seeing it himself, and we not an idiot in the box who is not even in the limelight at that point of time.
Okay,
That changes a lot of yeah.
Harvey, you play football, don't you?
Yeah.
Right. What position you play?
Left wing striker.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go down the left, the ball's coming over. The long ball gone over. You're chasing onto it. Yeah. Yeah. You've beaten the right back. So you're going into the box. Now you know yourself as a player. Okay. How hard, as a human being, how hard does a defender have to bloody push you to really make you go over?
As
You
hard
have to
as a
push it
turned
quite
on,
hard,
as hard as a turned on penis.
No. But if you think of it, Natesh, yeah, this is what I hate about the modern game. You know, it used to be, you know, you go past Harvey, you go past the defender, and all of a sudden, are you told now in this day and age if you feel a little bloody touch for you to go down? Is that what you told us at your age now?
Not really. To be honest, I think looking at the games back then, looking at how they got penalties, and looking now, it's just like we've gone soft a bit in the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Although I was going around the actual, yeah, exactly. And
But isn't
VAR,
that obvious?
but VAR actually
Yeah.
supports the softness of the game because they slow the replays down. Oh, is shoelace hit the other guy's bootlace? Oh yeah, that's a penalty. No, it's not. It ain't. And you know, because it takes a lot of pressure to hit someone to make someone fall over. Let's be honest.
You know the problem with VAR is that those idiots need to be told a simple thing. The idea or the motive of VAR is to make the correct decision. It's not to make your teammate, that is the other referee, look correct. It is to make the right call, the right decision. It's not to make the referee on the field to be made look like he's looking like the right guy or the right decision has been made. They are trying to protect their referees, and they are trying to show it that he has made the right decision to protect him, rather than making the actual right decision at times.
Okay.
So that is the
Well, can I come back on that?
And just want to add one last thing, that this problem, that it, unless it is a clear and obvious error, this statement is the main problem. If there is an error, you correct it. At the end, VAR should be made responsible for the final decision if they are overturning it. So they should be responsible for the final decision if they have overturned it, and that is how simple it should be. Clear or obvious error or not, if there is an error that you think, just overturn it, and you are responsible for why you have overturned it. Then the referee's responsibility is over at that point of time if you overturn a decision.
I have always supported ex-footballers actually becoming officials after they retire from playing the game. I've always supported ex-footballers becoming officials. Many of them prefer to go into management, but the money to actually be a referee in the Premier League is not good enough. They need to raise the payment for referees, which would attract ex-footballers. You don't need VAR then. Ex-footballers will know what it's like on the game, what it's like on a pitch, and they will know what is a foul, what is intent. You don't need VAR, you just need experience.
I don't agree with that. They can't be referees for two reasons. One, if ex-footballers were good enough to run across the 90 minutes, they would have probably not even retired in the first place. That is the first thing.
But many of these referees are 50 plus, Nitish.
No, but they still have the stamina. That is why they are running every day in and day out. And if they had the stamina, the ex-footballers, to run that much, they wouldn't have probably even retired from the game. The second thing is, every ex-footballer will have a favorite club as well. Like, it has to be an ex-footballer of a top club that will be obviously made in charge of the decision making. if you are telling, if you are saying so. If it was a player, it was an ex-player from a League 2 club or a League 3 club, then obviously they can't be made the referees. They can't be made in charge. So these referees will have a favorite, and they will favor them, as it has happened with the actual referees as well at times. So the thing is, these guys can be
Well,
only put in charge of VAR. And West Ham is killing it. They're 2-0, and I have Sass in my team, and Wolves is getting hammered as always. So great. That's just great.
can I just say
SPL getting.
about the referees also? They have to go through quite a lot of stuff with the players. The players, when you've got a VAR decision, if you've got a massive swarm of players coming over to you, like it happened in the Man United game in the last minutes, it's quite off-putting. It's quite off-putting, and I know they've
Quite
got to do
frightening.
their job.
Quite frightening.
Exactly.
That as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to do your job, and when you've got all them people just swarming over to you, it's quite like, what's the point?
But that brings back to my thing. I do think there should be a quick path for players who have retired, players who have been on a pitch, are experienced, know really, what is a foul, what is intent, what isn't. There should be a quick path for ex-players to stay in the game and become officials, because I'm confident. I played for many years myself at a good level, and I'm confident that an ex-player would be twice as good a referee as a non-ex-player. On my last game I've ever played, right? My last game I've ever played. I'll give you a story. Last game I've ever played, I refused to do any more. Basically, I was getting married. My work was my main priority to help my family, kind of thing. And on my last game, I accidentally broke someone's leg. Right? It was absolutely no intent at all. But a non-footballer would have looked at that, a non-previous footballer would have looked at that and give me a straight red. And I would probably be banned to this day, right? But it's things like that. When you're gonna nail someone. When you're gonna rake them down the back of a calf, and when you will know when a Roy Keane does an Alfie Inga Haaland, right? And someone who hasn't played the game previously, and then becomes a referee later in life, I don't think that's right. And they will make the wrong decisions. And that is why VAR is coming into it, because too many people have not had experience in playing the game, have become referees, and this is a result. VAR has come in, and that is a result.
I don't think so. They are trained for it. You think that ex-players will not make mistakes? Everyone makes mistakes. If ex-players were this perfect, they would not make the mistakes even while playing football. But everyone makes mistakes. That is the thing. And even if you have,
you wouldn't know what an intent tackle. If you watch a tackle, you know someone. If someone's going to nail someone, or if it's an absolute,
see, the problem is not that, Adam. The problem is that you get a millisecond, or you can say a second, to make a call. So there will be an error. You get a few seconds to decide on something big, like a penalty. You get one view. The thing is that we get a lot of views. The only person that, apart from the referee, that gets the other views right now is the VAR. So if you improve the VAR, and that is capable enough, and given the authority and the power and the responsibility to make the right calls, then they have to make the right calls. Otherwise, they should be sacked from there as well. So that is what I'm saying. Because
Harvey, as a player now, what do you think? As a player now, do you think you would know straight away whether it's the intent, whether someone, if it's like a leg breaker? As a player now, do you think as a player you would know straight away whether that was intent to fucking break someone's leg, or was it an accident?
To be honest, I'd be 50-50 with it again. I'm not a referee, so I wouldn't know myself. But if I saw a tackle that looked like he was just blatantly going for his leg, I'd probably say, yeah, that's a foul. But I'm not really sure.
That is the thing. That is what I was also trying to tell you. How can you say that this was a blatant foul to break his leg, or like anyone say that? You don't know. And also, it depends on the impact. Like Eddie Nketiah was sent off last season based on impact. Otherwise, it wasn't a hard tackle. It wasn't even like he wasn't trying to break his leg, but he was sent off on the intent. So many of the calls are given based on the intent. So that is, again, that is a personal opinion. A referee may say that was a harsh tackle and it was intended to hurt the player. The player may think, no, I did not go in that hardly. The impact wasn't maybe too much, but the player makes a meal out of it. So there are many things and many factors, and you could
And
again
another,
get fooled in the same making the wrong call.
okay, and another thing, Ben, another thing, I don't like the fact when VAR does slow motion, because it isn't slow motion. It is real time. You can't do slow motion all of a sudden, a little clip on but real time. And when you're running against each other, Harvey will tell you, when you're running against the right back, Harvey, how many times would your arm be hitting the right back, as you running towards the ball? But just because it's in slow motion, oh yeah, but it's a foul. It's not a foul. Football has become a non-contact sport, and it never was that. It was contact. It's a contact sport, but with lines to be drawn, and it's really really annoying me. Maybe I'm just of a generation which which is losing touch with the game. I don't know.
No, see, I understand. The problem that you have is not that the technology is being implemented. The problem that you have is that it is not being implemented correctly. And that is the
Yeah.
problem that a lot of people have. So that is as simple as that. It is very clear what you're trying to say. But at the end of the day, if you are saying that there won't be any technology used, then the offside line will also be taken away. Then they shouldn't have offsides then. A player can, like if you remember in the 1960s, players used to stand in other opposition goals and then they would just flick the ball in between the keeper. You want that again? Then that can also happen.
No, not at all. But sometimes there's an old saying, right, that says, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
It was
right?
broken.
But some of these rulings from the 80s, the back pass rule, I agree with. The amount of teams, you go 1-0 up, they just be passing back and forth to the keeper is ridiculous. I do agree that has benefited, but some of these rulings, which have been implemented in the last 5-10 years, have been nothing but pathetic, absolutely pathetic, and it's pushing older generation of football fans away from the sport. Because, to be quite honest with you, sometimes you watch a game and you think it's 11 fairies against another 11 fairies.
No, but which rule are you talking about? Which one in particular? Give an example.
Well, the sliding tackle.
Yeah.
The sliding tackle. The amount of sliding tackles I have seen, which have been clear tackles, they got the ball, but now, you can't do it. You can't do it. Sliding tackle is doing a sliding tackle is a skill which many defenders in nowadays would never be able to have. The Italians, the Germans, the Italians and the Germans back in the 80s and 90s were fantastic of it. The Italian defenders were, but the sliding tackle, it's just namby-pamby, 90 minutes with a football in the middle.
No, I don't think the sliding tackle is the problem. The problem is that too many people can't do it perfectly now. They make too many errors, and that is why they are scared. Now the thing is, if you have seen the best quality players, they still make the sliding challenges, but they don't go with two-footed challenges into two-footed challenges, and they do it perfectly. There are a lot of examples of a good player over the years. Over the years, there have been a lot of good players who make the sliding challenges. They have not stopped making those. But the problem is when you go with a two-footed challenge, you are about to end another player's career if your
I know,
studs impact.
but I'm not talking
Yeah.
about a sliding challenge and a two-footed challenge, two completely different things.
So
Two completely different things.
players do go for those kind of challenges. That is what I'm saying. Have you not seen the sliding challenges? But they have been restricted from going for two-footed ones. That is what I'm trying to say. So they have put
Oh
in
yeah,
certain
well, yeah.
limitations. So if a
Anyway,
player is confident enough and he does the perfect challenge, then I think he has nothing to worry about. There are so many sliding tackles and last ditch tackles that are made when the player is caught off the ball and maybe there is a goal scoring opportunities. A lot of defenders are there who make the perfect challenges in trying to block the attacker. And I have seen a lot of good challenges coming in as well. The only problem is, I think these guys try to avoid those because if you get it wrong, you can
yeah,
get sent off.
exactly. But they
So,
get
so
it
that
wrong.
is,
They get it wrong
yeah,
because of diving
yeah.
strikers. They get it wrong because it's too many diving on the strikers now.
See, so
You know,
diving strikers, yeah,
they're told to look, stand on your feet, keep on your feet. Harvey will tell
yeah,
you, keep on your feet. Right? That's what defenders are told to do now. To keep on your feet. But
because
then
of diving,
if you keep on your feet as a defender, if you keep on your feet,
yeah.
right, you're in a standing position against a winger who is already bloody bombing down past you, knock a ball past you. He's already got 5 yards on you. You know,
See, the thing is, you are saying diving strikers or easily going down attackers. See, that is not problem of the rule. That is the problem of the players. That is the problem of the mentality that they have. The rule does not tell you to dive. They want to dive, and that is their mentality. So that is, again, you can't blame the defender or the rule that is been put out for that. If a player wants to dive, he will dive. Even if he doesn't have contact, he will self contact and dive, as you have seen. You remember the Bruno video that is going viral? That was going viral.
You
So,
know what? I was thinking that. I was thinking exact. Just let you know, Barcelona 2-0 up against Villarreal.
and didn't Real Madrid just nick the game yesterday, 3-2?
Yeah, they did. They did 3-2 in the end.
Yep.
And Sevilla, unbelievable. It was 1-0 after 90 minutes against away to Cadiz or Cadiz. What if you're English, it'd be Cadiz. But and then they scored two. Sevilla scored two in injury time. They won 3-1 away.
And West Ham is destroying Wolves. I said this before. West Ham will slowly get into their own shape. And Adam, if you put in that bet whether David Moyes will be leaving West Ham, he's not. Don't worry. 3-0 to West
I
Ham against
didn't.
Wolves.
Yeah, a Bowen scored. A Bowen got any like assists or
Scored two.
goals on? Sorry,
Hi.
Scored two.
Two goals. Two goals.
two. Oh,
goals.
get in here! I got him on my fantasy team,
I have a quick
He got
question.
two goals.
and I had Vardy. I'm gonna be.
Yes.
I got a rocket. My team have got a rocket up their arse and going up that fantasy table tonight. I'm telling you.
Okay, and Khan had a question. Yes, Khan, go ahead.
Out of the top six, which manager first will get sacked? Just in top six. Which
You
manager
need to
will get
you need
sacked
to say
first
which is
by
the top
Christmas?
6 right now.
I know.
Which
That's
is
what
the
I'm
top 6?
thinking.
Which is the top 6?
Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, United, and Tottenham.
United and
Tottenham.
Tottenham. Okay. Okay. I think
You go first, Natesh.
I think Lampard will not get sacked, but he will leave Chelsea himself. He will
Hmm.
leave. He will take a handshake exit because he
I'm
will
saying
realize
Mourinho.
okay,
I'm
in
gonna
a few
say. I'm
weeks
gonna say.
Lampard will realize.
I'm gonna
Let me
say
just
Jose
finish.
Mourinho.
In a few weeks, okay. In a few weeks, Lampard will realize that he's not capable enough of handling this team. And as we saw against West Brom, they barely survived. And he's going to soon realize that I'm not good enough to manage this team. And rather than me trying to sink Chelsea's name to the bottom and getting sacked, I better leave now when things aren't that bad. So that is why I feel Lampard will leave himself first. So yeah, Khan, you were saying it will be Jose Mourinho. Any reasons why?
I just got a feeling it'd be Mourinho or Ole. I think Ole might get sacked because United are not doing well at the moment.
Okay, so let's go to Ole fans, Ole fan club, Ole fans. Let's go to Harvey. Who do you think will get sacked first?
I'm not an Ole fan. I don't really think he's a good manager, but I want him to stay before anything happens. I want the Glazers to go. I want him to stay. I think if we get a new owner, they'll realise Ole ain't good enough. Get him out. Get someone else in. I think it's going to be 50-50 between Lampard and Mourinho, though, with them two. Because Lampard,
Okay.
as you said, he might walk out, and Mourinho's just not. He's not getting the results. He's getting the money from Daniel Levy, but so did. I mean, I don't. They both had money this season. Both Lampard and Mourinho have had money this season. It's how the players work in the team.
I think he has some players that he needs to get rid of. Anyways, coming to Adam, your pick.
Oh, you're asking a Cardiff fan now. Remember,
Okay,
Natesh, you're asking
so
a
should I
Cardiff
should
fan
I
now.
should I skip the Cardiff fan then?
No.
I'll ask you- I'll ask you when you're in the Premier League.
No.
Okay,
hang
go
on.
ahead. Sorry.
Hang on. It's not what who do I think, it's who do I want, right? For me as a Cardiff fan, right?
Ole.
And you know that bastard who brought in 14 Norwegian shite players under the same agent almost took us from relegation, not just from a Premier League to the Championship, but the following season from a Championship to League One. That guy is the biggest fraud I've ever come across. Right? And I'm telling you now, his time at United is going to run out soon because United fans are starting to realise he hasn't got a clue.
I
It's
think
not
they
the
already
United
know
fans.
it.
We know we ain't got a clue. We know that, but we'd rather the Glazers go than him. I don't
That's
think
fair
he's the
enough.
problem.
That's fair enough,
Yeah.
mate. But if you know that your manager haven't got a clue, why are you guys still supporting him?
Because we've done this so many times now. We've done it with Jose. We've done it with Van Gaal. We've done it with Moyes. The board just don't support the managers. I know Moyes obviously isn't one of the best managers in the world. We all know that. But you got Fellaini for Man United for that team. It's not good enough.
But let's be honest.
You know,
Fellaini
Adam. It
at
would be
Everton.
funny.
What?
It would be funny if Moyes does a miracle at West Ham. They sack Solskjaer and West Ham sack Moyes, or he leaves West Ham and he comes in as a replacement for Solskjaer for a part-time job. It would be so ironic. It would be so ironic.
I think. Listen, I know the Glazers have been awful owners. Don't get me wrong. I know Woodward is an absolute donkey when it comes, and they need a director of football at Man United ASAP, right? However, to say that the managers haven't been backed, I don't think it's correct. If you compare it against other clubs, maybe not to the level. You know, the amount of dead signings Alec Ferguson got away with over the years has been incredible, but he also brought success, and in success hid those dead signings. You know,
I understand that. Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just saying that the third year and the second year they just don't back him. Like, look at Mourinho. He was wanting players. He wanted them players that third year. They didn't give him any. They gave him Fred. They gave him Lee Grant. Who the fuck's Lee Grant? Who is he now? He's on 30k a week on the bench.
No. Hey, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. But how much?
But I'll say this.
I think
Good.
Solskjaer is exactly the same as he was at Cardiff. A fucking yes man. Right?
Yeah, but he's just got more money. He's just got more money now in his job.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
The guy.
Yeah.
To play two holding midfielders, which he did for a majority of the time last year. You know, he had Fred and McTominay as a holding. Sometimes you had Pogba ahead. You know, to play two that you're wasting one key central midfield position. You should have just one central midfielder, but he was just protecting. It seemed to me that his mind was right. As long as we don't lose, I'm fine. So he played two holding midfielders all the time.
No,
Would I be right?
two errors that are very similar between Frank Lampard and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer from the last game. If you saw, McTominay and Pogba both are players who like to push forward. He's playing one in a holding midfield role. He's playing the other right next to him. They both like to roam around or move around, and they don't play the stagnant defensive midfield role. So when Scott is playing with Pogba, they will both be out of position a lot of times. The same thing Chelsea fans highlighted about N'Golo Kante and Kovacic. Jorginho is the one who stays at the center. He stays back. He does not move so much. And Kante keeps moving up front. He keeps coming back. That is what he does. But when you play Kovacic and N'Golo Kante together, they will be going out of position a lot of times because they both like to push forward and play free-flowing football. So that is the error that was highlighted by a lot of Chelsea fans in the last game against West Brom, and they wanted Jorginho to play with either Kante or Kovacic. And the same thing with respect to Solskjaer. He is playing the similar two kind of midfielders in the midfield, whereas Matic is the actual different one, because Matic does not push forward too much. He plays from the same position that he is in. So now he needs to play either Matic or Fred there, and a Pogba with him, because Bruno will not be coming back. He'll be pushing forward, and Van de Beek will also be pushing forward. So if Pogba goes ahead at times, Van de Beek can either come back, or Pogba can come back when Van de Beek is going forward, along with Matic already being the stagnant guy. Scott and Pogba being in the same team, they both push forward and keep playing free-flowing football, and they keep moving ahead, and come when they are caught out of position, that is when they concede the goals.
I mean, if I was Van der Beek right now, I'd be thinking, what the fuck is all this? What's going on? He's sat there on the bench watching Pogba do step overs, losing the ball every time, and then I'm telling you now, if Rashford didn't perform that game, I think we would have lost 3-4-1 maybe. Our defense weren't there. It's lucky we had even an attack.
I was very surprised how bad Wan Bissaka played, to be honest.
Yeah. Awful.
I was very surprised.
See, that is what happens. That is what happens when your midfield is not supporting the defenders as well. I agree that he wasn't good. Obviously, he was bad. But also, when the midfield is not supporting the defense, if the midfield is strong, if Wan Bissaka is pushing forward to create more chances to get more goals, one of the midfielders would have stepped into that void and defended for him. Like when he's pushing forward.
That's why I don't understand. I know they were linked to him around about March and April, but I don't understand why United hasn't gone for Partey. They know his price. They know the price of his get-out clause. A midfield three of Partey, Pogba, and Fernandes is bloody fearsome. Absolute fearsome.
Adam,
I do not understand why. But I know the transfer window is not open, and in all fairness to United, lately in the last year or two, they have been keeping very, very quiet on the people in which they actually buy in the end. So I still think it could be a possibility of Partey going to United. More possibility of Partey going to United than Partey going to Arsenal. Right?
Adam,
however, I've always said, and you know, Nitish, I've always said, my feeling has been that he will stay at Atleti.
Adam, Partey does not want to go to United. He wants to join Arsenal if he's going anywhere. As simple as that. That is why he has not gone to Manchester United. Otherwise, they have spent the same amount of money in getting Van de Beek. They could have just gotten Thomas Partey instead.
Van der Beek and Partey are different kind of players, though. You think about
I know, but they had the money.
It's a versatile player who can cover.
No, then you will argue
like
what
the Phil Neville type of player, if you know what I mean.
What I was saying is that they have money. They had money. They had money. If Atletico wanted to sell to them, or if they would have triggered the buyout clause, Partey would have just walked to United. But he doesn't want to go to United because they spent the money on a different player. That clearly shows that if Partey would have just agreed terms with them, they would have paid off the release clause. Instead of Van de Beek, they would have gotten him before itself. But the thing is, he does not want to go to United. He wants to either stay
You
at
don't
Atletico
know
Madrid
that,
or come
Nitesh.
to Arsenal. The club has already
I don't want
spent
this
the same
argument
amount.
again. I don't want this argument again. I know what you're trying to do, Nitesh. You're trying to stir the pot. Go on. Adam has been drinking. He's had a couple of beers now. Let's stir the pot. Let's get him kicking off.
No, but
listen,
the facts are out there.
I'm going to have to hang on 1 sec. I'm going to have to put my phone on charge. Right.
Okay.
So can I log out and then come back in?
Yeah, sure. No worries.
Good man.
Until then, I'll quickly read the comments. And Charlie was talking about VAR. Any more updates? I think no, it's still 3-0. I can't believe how Wolves keep having these mood swings. They're crazy. Anyways, James was talking about the fact that we were talking about the refereeing decisions and the VAR. And yes, we can go on all night long about this and go back to the old rules. But there are then at that point of time, then people say that we should get in VAR, but now people say we should go back to the old rules. So it doesn't work out. I think we need to just move forward and improve it rather than keep criticizing, and just move forward and get the better system in. Like as we have now made a change that the referee can himself see it on TV, on the television. So that is that is an improvement. Maybe for a few more years. It's not going to happen in 1 year. And football is changing. Early 90s, 2000. Yes, it has evolved a lot. Contact sport. If you go down the Championship League, see, the problem is that I don't think VAR and all these other rules are implemented in the Championship and the League One. Harvey, I don't think that any of these rules are implemented, right? When you play like at a lower level. Harvey, are you there?
Hello, yep.
Yeah, I was asking you. So I don't think any of these other rules are implemented. They don't have the technology in the lower leagues, right?
No, they don't. If we had them in the lower leagues, I'm pretty sure I should have quite a few penalties by now.
Yeah, and I think one more thing that it would benefit the lower leagues would be if they had these in the lower leagues. I think the players would be used to playing under them, like with them around. So I think they would have maybe had a better practice of playing with these rules in the lower leagues as well. But unfortunately, I don't think they have the money to implement that technology. And quickly going to James' comment, he's saying Glazers won't go. Same with Kroenke as well. So they're not going to go anywhere. Yes, Khan, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
Just wondering, are you doing watch along for Arsenal against Liverpool?
I'm not doing at present. I don't know what everyone else is planning. Sorry. So I don't know what other people are planning. So let's see. Depending on that, I will be able to answer.
What's your predicted 11? Because you said you were going to do your predicted 11 at the end of the stream.
The predicted 11 for Arsenal would be obviously Leno at goal, and apart from that, left back would be Tierney if he's fit. Yeah, the fitness is the problem, and I would play the centre back pairing of Gabriel and Holding if they're playing three, so all three of them. Then obviously left wing back would be, I would prefer to play Niles because he will have to do a job against Liverpool. So no Saka there. On the right hand side, I would probably play Bellerin. He looked decent. Xhaka and Ceballos in midfield, and possibly up front, it will be Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Willian on the right.
That is a strong team, really.
Pepe, and El Neni. I can get in Pepe as a super sub, and the other player, the midfield, I would think about El Neni or Ceballos, because if Ceballos comes on as a substitute as well, he could have a major impact. So I may start with El Neni there as well. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think El Neni is doing really good the last two games. But Pepe,
go ahead.
You give Pepe this season. If he doesn't perform, you just get rid of him. That's what I would do if I was Arteta. Just get rid of him because you got Willian now.
See, the thing is, we need to get some money back, because if we don't get money back, that is a problem. So before I just quickly add Adam again, I just wanted to say one sentence about that. That El Neni is more defense-minded. Ceballos is more attack-minded. And predictions coming in. James is saying 2-1 to Arsenal. Melina is saying 3-1 to Arsenal. Adam is in the house again. Let's start off with Harvey. Your prediction. What do you think will be the prediction for the Arsenal-Liverpool game?
I think Liverpool will scrape it 3-2. Thiago looked really good.
Even though he gave away the penalty, I think passing-wise, it's another way to get them forward.
Thiago, Allison, and I read one more. I think Henderson. They're not playing the game possibly.
Well, if they're playing the game, I'd say 3-2. If not, I'd say 3-1 Arsenal. Because without Allison, they've got Adrian. Right, we all know he's not the best keeper. They'd have to play Milner, and Henderson's out as well.
Yeah.
That might be a Premier League start for Curtis Jones in the team as well, so you never know. They might have to change the whole squad up for the game.
Yep. And Khan, what is your prediction for Arsenal versus Liverpool?
4-1 Liverpool.
Okay. And any reason why 4-1 Liverpool?
I mean, Liverpool is just too strong. I mean, even as a City fan, I hate Liverpool, but you got to admit it. They're a strong team. Just can't, like... The reason I'm saying it is because they won the league last season. I think they'll win the league again this season. They've got Thiago, they've got Jota, and they're looking more stronger, to be honest.
Are you sure that you're a City fan?
Yeah, I am.
Oh my!
He's having the after effects of today's loss as well. Like in terms of he's a bit low on confidence with respect to the team because Pep is fucking things up big time.
You call us Manchester United? Look at Leicester. They practically have just won against Manchester City with penalties.
See, but the thing is, the first two weren't too many doubts about the first two of those. The third one, yes, I would also agree on that. But obviously, if there are two clear fouls,
they were already up 4-2 at that point, weren't they? So,
yes, yeah. So
right,
if you see
Liverpool Arsenal, I'm just going to go for 1-0. It'd probably be a tight game. No one would want to lose it. I'm going for 1-0.
It's at Anfield.
You know what? I know you're an Arsenal fan, Nitesh.
Yeah.
But you know what? I've been very surprised, and kind of like the way El Neni has been so professional since he's come back into the team. He's done his job. You know, very much like, a striker who starts at the bottom, like Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy started at the bottom. El Neni has had so many pelters from Arsenal fans over the years. He's gone out on loan. He's done a good job in Turkey, I think it was. He's come back and he's remained professional. And I think it's absolute credit to him. Absolute credit to him. And that could be the reason, Arteta could be the reason why we may well think that is his defensive midfielder.
See, again, the problem with El Neni is if you're playing El Neni with Xhaka, you're making a mistake because he gives you zero.
Yes.
He gives you nothing with respect to creativity and pushing forward. He has a good shooting capability. So again, that is the same mistake that I pointed out with respect to United and Chelsea. El Neni needs to play at the base of the midfield with someone else like Dani Ceballos or even Thomas Partey alongside him who will push forward, or AOUAR also, who can possibly play there as well.
But so, don't you feel as an Arsenal fan, Nitesh, El Neni needs to be given so much credit of the way he's come back. He's kept himself professional, unlike Xhaka did last year. Kept himself professional, kept his head down, and credit to Arteta as well, and El Neni. Arteta come in, look, because he's given the boy a chance, And Elneny has taken his chance with both hands, and absolute credit to him. Absolute credit to him.
See, but the thing is, Adam, there are 2 games played in the season. I agree that he's
No,
looked
but
better.
it's not just that. It's not just that, Nitesh.
Yeah.
I think he's turning people's feelings about him around, and maybe that long period of just giving him a kick up a backside and think, right, okay, I'm in a league, Turkish league, which is paying bloody 9.5 of what I'm earning at Arsenal. I need to go there. I need to prove myself, because if I want this kind of lifestyle, and I want this lifestyle for my family, I need to bloody get my head down and work at it. And fair play to him. Absolute fair play to him. It's a credit to himself. And I hope Arsenal fans start appreciating him a bit more after.
4-0.
Sorry?
4-0.
Yeah, I've just seen it now.
See, Arsenal fans did not hate him, but they just felt that he was not good enough because of how he was playing.
They didn't rate him.
And the problem was, Elneny said it himself in a recent interview after the last game, that under Wenger, no one was bothered. They were just playing. Same thing under Emery, and now everyone is playing as a unit, as a team. He said it himself. Now the other thing is, apart from that, everyone under Arteta has a well-defined role. So if that is the case, Elneny knows his role as well. So that is why he looks better than he actually is. Now, if he moves to another team,
it could work. Unfortunately, you can't take.
Mustafi has improved. Granit Xhaka has improved. Mustafi has improved. If those guys can improve, Elneny definitely can improve. And this is why I was saying.
Unfortunately, some players, fans don't really take personalities into it. Some people in general life can be very quiet. Some people can be loud. You only have to go to the local bar to see that.
Yep.
And some people, I think Elneny could be one of those people, who just need the manager arm around their shoulder. You know what? I got my faith in you, son. I got my faith in you. Now you go out there and you do yourself proud, you do your family proud, and you know what? Most importantly, you do the club proud. And Elneny, he deserves a lot of credit from Arsenal fans. The way he's come back, got his head down, and he's doing well. He's doing really, really well.
He's doing well, but that is what I'm saying again. For 2 games of the season and 2 games in pre-season, give him more time, because there is still no guarantee. Yeah, there is still no guarantee that he'll be staying at Arsenal. If we get a Thomas Partey in, he may be sold. He could still be sold.
About that.
About what? Thomas Partey.
School.
Yeah, Khan left because he has school. But at the end of the day, you need time. You don't judge a player in 2 games. Yes, he has improved. No one is denying that. But then again, and everyone, as I said, everyone looks better under Arteta. Even Xhaka, Mustafi and these guys, even Rob Holding and David Luiz, these guys are looking better right now. So that is the thing. Under Arteta, they are looking better than they were looking under Unai Emery and Wenger's last years. So that is the thing. And under Wenger, Elneny never really got too many opportunities because he didn't know what to do. The team was only playing attack. They were never playing defensive football. They never had a proper defensive line. They had jokes in the back, you can say. And that is why...
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just reading the comments here, Nitesh.
Yeah.
And I know people say that, there's some players, Elneny plays sideways. But
yes.
Realistically, right? That is not. Harvey will tell you as a footballer, passing sideways and backwards is not really a bad thing at times, because you keep in possession. You keep in possession, and if you keep possession, the other team can't freaking score. Am I right?
It means that you...
Yeah, it's good to do, but not like all through a game, obviously.
No, I know, but if you slow it down, you keep possession. Barcelona, okay, tiki-taka going forward, but at that time as well, when he needed to slow the game down, they'd slow the game down.
That is not what this is mentioning about.
Passing backwards
It is not about that.
It's not a bad thing at times.
No, James is not talking about that. What James is trying to say is he doesn't have that frontward pass. He doesn't have that through ball vision. He doesn't have those things that a defensive midfielder is supposed to have when he's not able to run with the ball. Like a Jorginho was playing that Sari ball. That was the entire concept. He was playing that long ball from the back like a David Luiz can do. El Neni does not have that. Even Gabriel played a few passes with his left foot. If you saw, Kyron Tierney plays those long balls with his left foot. These guys have those kind of passing capability and the vision. El Neni has none of those. The only thing he can do is, yes, he can block shots. Yes, he can stand his ground and he can run around with players, but he does not have that pass. So what he does is he will play the ball sideways and expect another player to play that pass. It's like a goalkeeper. It's like a goalkeeper who can't take a long kick.
I remember Alex Ferguson. I remember Alex Ferguson saying to, come in public when he used to say to like Phil Neville or Darren Fletcher or something. Look, you know your limitations. You know your capabilities. Okay, if right, you do your job as in stopping the opposition to score. Give the ball to people who can do those kind of split defensive passes. And El Neni, that is unfortunately.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Good. But what I'm trying to say is,
your job, as in you stop the opposition scoring, give the ball to other people who can then split the opposition defense and on attack.
But it makes the teams play one-dimensional, because when this guy has the ball, he's only going to go back because he can't go front. If he goes front, if he goes forward, if he plays a pass forward, he will be caught and he will give the ball away. So if you block him from the back, if you have a player marking the player behind him or around him, he will not be able to go back. If you mark him from the front, then he will be trapped and he will either lose the ball or play a loose pass forward, and then he will get caught between the two and give the ball away. So that is how you destroy the game of the other team. And that is why El Neni becomes a liability at that point of time, which is why he was not liked initially by the Arsenal fans. And now if he can't change his playing style and he can't find those passes or run with the ball and move forward with the ball, he is going to probably be here this season, because we don't have too much money to spend right now, because we already spent on a lot of other players. But by next season, possibly he'll be gone. If we get both Thomas Partey and OR, then I think he'll be gone this season itself, either now or in the January transfer window.
I just think his game will improve when he has better players with him, when he has better playmakers with him.
But if there are better players in the team, he won't be able to find a place in the team. Even if Ceballos is playing, I think El Neni will.
When you paired up with you mentioned it just yourself, when you paired up with Xhaka, it's a problem. It's a problem. I just think Arsenal fans need to give El Neni a bit of credit and credit to himself. I think he's really come back well, very professional, got his head down, doing his job, and good luck to him.
Yes, good luck to him, because he's going to be here, I think, for this season at least, because I get the feeling that this season it will be OR that we are signing, and we will keep El Neni as a backup, the defensive backup, and Xhaka will be there and Ceballos will be there. If we are getting Partey, that will all depend on if we are able to sell Torreira. So it all depends on that. So
it's getting a bit late though, isn't it, for Arsenal to get AOUAR? I mean, they do like to see the time on a deal, so I'm not sure if they have enough time.
Adam will say that it is already done.
Yeah, done deal. 100%. It's a done deal. 45,000 plus add-ons. 45 million plus add-ons. Done deal.
So Adam is saying that it's already done.
Yeah.
It
was already done over the weekend. Well, Friday, I think. Friday, I had a word.
Yeah. I'll just add a word on that. I'll just add one more thing on that. That before they sign OR, they are not going to sell Torreira or send him out on loan. because if they have any other extra cash in the bank, Lyon will want more money upfront. So they are not going to do that Torreira sale or the loan deal until and unless they are first finalizing the OR deal. So that is why they will now push for the OR deal first. Then they will seal the fate of Torreira. If they are able to sell him, that is great. If not, then they will loan him out. But they don't want to give Lyon more money upfront. So they will get that done first.
Oh, no,
And
no,
then
no,
they
no.
will.
Hey, Leon
Yeah.
are quite willing to do payment installments. It's
No, but
Leon the only reason Leon, the president is a Daniel Levy of France, really. Right?
exactly.
And he got
So
ego to protect. He has an ego
not
to
just that.
protect.
If
Right?
he knows that Arsenal.
The key with AOUAR, what I'm hearing, or AOUAR, or whatever you bloody, it's a car crash for me every time I pronounce his name. But never mind, right?
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is basically Arsenal don't want the deal. It's more Arsenal than Leon. They don't want the deal to go public yet because of a PR machine. They know they're not going to get Partey, but they want to kind of time it right officially so that they keep they please the fans, they please sponsors, because we've still got over a week to go. The Leon president wants to keep his bloody ego of being a tough cookie to deal with, but the personal terms were agreed. Actually, the personal terms were agreed about 2 weeks ago. Although that raised its head again Thursday night, Friday morning, and yeah, 45 million plus add-ons. It could rise to about 52 million.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. See, that deal is done before. I'm not saying that the overall deal will increase, the amount will increase. I'm not saying that. But what I'm trying to say is that if suppose you have like an additional 20 million in the bank, the club will ask for more money upfront. That is what I'm saying. Like if you're giving 30 million upfront, they will say why out of the 50 million, they will say give us 35 million or 40 million upfront because you have money in the bank. So
Yeah,
that is why they are first,
I get your point there.
yeah, so they are first trying to get the OR deal done. Then they will try to sell or loan out Torreira, whichever is feasible. And if they are possibly able to sell Torreira and maybe Mustafi, then I think Partey will come to Arsenal. I said this: we need to sell 3 players more. Maybe Kolasinac, Mustafi, and Torreira. If all three are going, I think there is nothing stopping us from signing Partey.
The only thing I'm hearing, this is why they changed tact and they went for OR first before Partey. Listen, Nitesh, you know yourself. When I first started my channel, I was a sports reporter over the year. I kept my contacts. I didn't really get paid properly by the media organisation I worked for, so I took my contacts with me, right? And that's why I'm building my channel. Is basically because I'm using some of the information in which I'm told from most contacts and using it to build my channel. But the reason in which they Arsenal swapped the attention from Partey to OR is because the Arsenal board don't really want to go for Partey at his age and spend all that money at his age. His age seems to be a problem. He's 28, I think, isn't he? And I think...
Yep, that is... Yeah, go ahead.
No. I'm hearing that is the reason why Arsenal have basically put their foot on the brake regarding the Partey deal.
I think that is not the reason because he's 27 first, and second thing is
I thought he's 28, isn't he?
27. He still has, I think, 6 years left. So he has 6 years left.
Not as a midfield general, you don't have 6 years left.
At least 5 years.
It'll be 32 max.
Yeah, so then 5 years. Okay.
Not at Premier League, way the Premier League is. At La Liga, yeah, you could be right. You could go on to 34, 35. But at the pace and physicality of Premier League is, you'd be lucky to do 32. Okay, and it's no sell on money then. It's no sell on money. Whereas an AOUAR, if he does well at Arsenal, you could well be having Real Madrid, Barcelona knocking at the door by the time he's 27.
See the thing with that is that is another thing. Do you want to sell him or do you want to retain him? Now, if you see, Matic is right now 32. I'm giving you an example. Matic is 32. He is slow, so he can't play the forward pushing role, but he can definitely play the defensive midfielder who is stagnant, and he can play passes as well, the through balls and those things. If Partey is as good as they say he is, he can definitely make it to 32, 33 at Arsenal. That won't be a problem, even though he may not be the first choice at one point of time, but he would definitely be the backup. So there is no problem with respect to that. But what I'm trying to say is, for even if you're saying not 6 years or 5 years, even if you're saying 5 or 4 years, I think 4 years are worth it if he helps you win a title, a major title like the Premier League and return to the Champions League. I think there is no doubt that if we get Partey and OR both, we become title contenders. If not this year, I feel this year, but maybe in a year or two. If not, you feel this not this year, definitely in a year or two. Because right now, the way that Manchester City is struggling, the way that Manchester
I don't know
City
how
is
many
struggling.
times I have to tell you. I've been telling you since March. It is not happening. The way Arsenal tried to unsettle Partey and his family was wrong, really, if I'm honest with you. However, I do believe that if you're in charge of a business, then and you want your man, you go every avenue to get your man, right? You use every avenue to get your man, okay? But the way Arsenal went about it, they agreed personal terms very early, March, April, but then the bid was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But Partey's mind was Arsenal, and so it created an unsettled player. Arsenal then pulled away, and Partey and his party, sorry about the pun, got pissed off with Arsenal. And yes, I know what you're saying, that his father came out and said, "Oh, he wants to join Arsenal," but that was back in April. We are now in the end of September. Nothing has been mentioned apart from his own father saying it is not set in stone that he wants to go to Arsenal. I read that because United, PSG, Inter have actually showed a lot of interest. Last week or the week before, I remember I shared that story with you. Inter have tried to do a straight swap with Bosanovic or whatever you call him.
Yep.
Atleti then told Inter no, it's the cash up front for his release clause. But what you got to realise now is Inter sold that player to Tottenham. So they got the money.
See, that is the thing that I'm trying to tell you. If suppose Atletico Madrid want to do a swap deal, they would have done it with Arsenal, but they don't want a swap deal.
They want to keep Partey. They want to keep Partey.
So that is what I'm trying to tell you.
That is why they're not doing any swap deal. They're trying to make it hard for Partey, really, because they want to keep him, right? They don't want to listen to any swap deals, whether it is for Pereira, whether it was for Bosanovic. They're not. It is cash up front. You either got it or you haven't.
Exactly. So Inter Milan is out of the picture because they were trying that swap deal, which is not going to happen.
Well,
even
they just
you know
showed
it.
that play to Tottenham, haven't they? They just showed that defender to Tottenham.
Yeah,
Screener. How much did they sell him for? 40, 50, wouldn't they? That was what, 3-4 days ago. They have now got the money. But I don't know. Partey, Inter Milan, I don't know. We could do better in Serie A, if I'm honest with you.
No, so that is what Regulin was from Real Madrid. I don't know which defender I did. Maybe I must have missed it. Wait, let me just quickly check.
No, Inter
what
Milan
was his name, Harvey?
The defender to Tottenham.
Milan Skriniar. That's his name.
Yeah, that's his name, Harvey.
but it doesn't show up yet. Everyone is saying that they are on the verge of signing.
I sent you a link a few days ago.
Yes, but it wasn't confirmed. That is what I'm saying.
It was from simplainter.com.
He was on the bench for the last game yesterday. He was on their bench. So that shows the credibility of that source for now. It's not done yet. He was on their bench yesterday. I remember someone even saying it. That he's not.
I've always said he could go United more than Arsenal. I've always said that, but I still don't. I think he's going to run his contract out. If he ran his contract out, which would what make him 30, how much money could he potentially have for being a free agent? You're only talking about 2 years ago. In 2 years' time,
Yeah.
you'll be 29 maybe, 29 stroke 30. How much money? He's timed it right in a way. If he just runs his contract out with Atleti and he'd be 29, how much money could he have as a free agent going wherever he wants to in the world?
He's not going to make great money then. I will tell you why. Because he's not going to make great money.
Listen, even Aaron Ramsey is getting 400. He got a signing on fee, which was millions, and he's getting 400,000 a week because he was a free agent. Are you trying to tell me Thomas Partey wouldn't command such figures?
He has to first do it for the 2 years. When Aaron Ramsey was given that contract, the form that he showed in that season, he was worth because of that. And what happened 1 season later, they were also trying to get rid of him and sell him as well. So if he is able to sustain that form for the next 2 to 3 years, then possibly he may get that deal. But there are a lot of ifs. Even Thomas Partey was injured last season. So let's see if he's able to actually come back from that injury and remain fit first. The other thing, as I said again, he needs to show that form because he is a player who's a ball carrying midfielder. So age is a big factor in that. If he was a stagnant kind of player like a centre back, or if he was a goalkeeper, or if he was, say, supposing a defensive midfielder who doesn't have to run too much, or a target man, then I think these players have an advantage that at any age they can possibly do it. But because he's a ball carrier, if he's not the quick, he doesn't have the pace remaining, he doesn't have the ball carrying capability remaining, he will not be valued at a very high price unless he's actually doing it till that point of time.
Okay, if you were a player, Harvey, if you were a player, if you were a player, I know you're a Man United fan, right? If you were Thomas Partey at the moment, would you, a straight choice, would you stay with Atletico Madrid, who have now brought in Suarez and boosted their squad, who were in the Champions League, and they all semi-finals last year or quarter-finals or whatever? Or would you go to Arsenal? Which, let's be honest, the only attraction of Arsenal is living in London. And in my opinion, living over in Spain, Madrid is a far better city to live in than London at the moment for all different reasons. So
Adam forgot to add the most important part, that Thomas Partey is an Arsenal fan and he wants to come to Arsenal. He forgot to add that part.
Okay, I didn't. But it's career, or Natesh. I personally think, and I said this to you the other day, if they can keep Suarez fit, I think they could actually win La Liga this season. I said that to you the other day.
I think Partey, if he did go to Arsenal, I think that'd be good for him. I think it'd be a big challenge for him, big step up. Now he's in a team with players that are holding his position as well, like Marcus Llorente. If he goes into Arsenal, he's got a big step up. He's got to be that man. He's got to be the best player.
I think Arsenal is a step down at the moment.
Yeah, but he's got to step up. I know Arsenal probably is a step down for him, but that's a challenge, and that's a challenge that Partey would be willing to take, I think.
At 28, I very much doubt it. No, but you know, it's almost kind of fact.
Thiago did the same.
At 28,
Thiago did the same.
You know,
Thiago did the same. I think Thiago went from a better team to a declining team. So he did the same. Thiago Alcantara.
Yeah, but German football, they don't really pay players that well, do they?
Then we can argue on that fact that if he comes to Arsenal, he'll be living in London.
Listen,
and
I need to go for a piss. You carry on, and then when I come back, we'll talk about Declan Rice. Yeah.
Sure, no worries. And yes, so just a second, Harvey. I will quickly switch from my data to my Wi-Fi. Hold. Yeah, I'm back. I think we should probably get some commercial ads in between when we take a 30-second break or something. Soon we'll probably get some commercial ads as well. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Are you there, Harvey? Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. One sec, hold on. Maybe it's the...
Sorry, my friend.
Hear me now?
Right, here we go.
That there was some issue. Anyways, no worries. So yeah, so we were discussing... You can start off, Adam. You can start off with respect to Declan Rice.
Yeah. Declan Rice. Former Chelsea player. Best friends with Mason Mount.
Yeah.
Is with a club. Take away today's result. But off the field, got massive off the field problems. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, there were good, strong sources a few days ago, which I showed you, Nitesh, that Declan Rice is now starting to push the transfer to Chelsea.
Yeah.
He's starting to push it himself now but Frank Lampard a few weeks ago said we are willing to wait on Declan Rice. The reason in which they're willing to wait on Declan Rice is because West Ham are so skint. They're willing to wait the last few days. They're willing to wait the last few days so that they can get him on a cheap. All right. Now there's rumour. Well, he has actually agreed personal terms, and
which means
West
nothing.
Ham, because of the Diagana issue has happened with the fans, because Diagana was a great young prospect, and the fans are going absolutely berserk at the owners of West Ham for selling him on a cheap. The owners of West Ham are telling Chelsea, yeah, you can have him, but it's going to happen, officially, it's going to happen on the last day or two of a transfer window. That could well then bring in the likes of Hudson-Odoi going on loan to West Ham for a year. Because if West Ham get rid of Declan Rice on the last day or two of a transfer window, it doesn't give them enough time to get in a replacement. So Chelsea are willing to give one of the good youngsters on loan for a year to help them with that replacement. But Declan Rice, 100%, is going to be a Chelsea player before the end of this transfer window.
I can see the loan player being Tomori. I don't think I don't think that they'd give away Hudson-Odoi at the moment. It seems they need him.
Yep.
As last night we saw, he was the one that got him again.
Well,
Back into
Hudson-Odoi was the latest name. They have tried to. They mentioned Batshuayi as because he's on loan at Palace at the moment, isn't he? So they he was being mentioned, although he's turned down West Ham 3 times apparently to go on loan there. Basically, Chelsea are throwing all names at West Ham to be part of a deal so that it softens West Ham up because they know they will need a replacement. I know they had a great result today. But there's massive, massive financial and off-field problems at West Ham at the moment.
I think the only realistic player that can go from Chelsea to West Ham is Jorginho. I don't think anyone else. But then if let's go of Jorginho, he needs to be certain that Declan Rice won't fail. Because if Declan Rice fails, they are fucked. Chelsea is gone.
No, I agree. He is putting a hell of a lot. At this moment in time, Frank Lampard is putting all his eggs in the Declan Rice basket. And I'm wondering where Kante is going. Kante is the question mark on this.
I will have him at Arsenal without a second thought. N'Golo Kante is the only player that I would have for a Guendouzi swap. Otherwise, I want Guendouzi to stay at Arsenal.
Why was Arsenal have been crying out for a defensive midfielder?
Yeah.
Why? I'm still baffled as to Declan Rice is Premier League experience. He lives in London, right?
Yeah.
West Ham initially they valued him at 80. There's rumours that they could actually accept 40 because they're so skint, right? I'm just wondering why Arsenal haven't. His transfer could be done in payment installments rather than upfront in cash. Why haven't Arsenal focused on Declan Rice rather than the likes of Thomas Partey, which they knew would be completely out of a price range?
They're both in the same price range. Adam, seriously.
But Thomas Partey would have to pay up in full, straight up.
West Ham will not. West Ham will ask for the same. When a club doesn't have money.
No, you're mad. No.
No. Trust me.
No way.
West Ham will ask for the same. Just look at the situation now. When you are saying West Ham has no money.
Chelsea have spent. There's no way they would do an upfront fee of 40-50 million for Declan Rice because they will fail FFP. They need to do installments over 4 or 5 years, wherever the contract is.
They will be selling the likes of Emerson and they will be selling the likes of Jorginho. They may, as I said, they may let Jorginho go the other way. If that is done, then that helps. Even if N'Golo Kante leaves, their midfield isn't weakened. They got Billy Gilmore as well. You're forgetting.
Okay, all right. How old is Declan Rice?
I think he's 22, 23. One sec, I'll just confirm it.
21, 22, 23. So what, he got 10 years?
Yes, 21. Sorry, 21. Yeah, 21.
Right, 21. So you got what, 12 years in him as a defensive midfielder, right? Because the knees will end up going 32, 33, right?
Yeah.
But he's the same price as a 28-year-old going on 29-year-old. You'd be lucky to get 4 years out of him. Business-wise, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense, Chris.
Thomas Partey is better than Declan Rice.
He may be at the moment. But if you're looking long term, you would get far more out of Declan Rice than you would out of Thomas Partey for 4 years.
That is if he improves. You are comparing a Champions League. You are comparing a Champions League proven player. Yes, but you are again comparing a Champions League proven player to a Premier League proven player, but he's not even playing at the top club. He's playing at a club that is struggling. Last year, they were struggling for relegation. Yes, he may be their best midfielder, but at the end of the day, he's in a team that is shite, in short.
I just think I just think I'm just very surprised. We all know what the Arsenal board are like. Business, business, business. It's not football, football. It's not what goes on the pitch. It's how much money they can make off the pitch. That is why, that's why the Cronkies use that money to pay for the LA Rams stadium and so on and so forth. It's business, business, business. And to me, it's far more business sense to go for Declan Rice, a 21-year-old, a 40 to 50 million pound in 2020, and you can have him until 2032, than a Thomas Partey who's 28. Yeah, the money would have to be up front. You don't know whether money would have to be up front with West Ham. I very seriously doubt that, but I'll go with your point there. Long term and business wise, it does not make sense why Arsenal have not looked at Declan Rice when Chelsea want him big time. But Arsenal, to me as a layperson, it feels as if Arsenal don't rate him, yet Chelsea do.
See, the thing with Chelsea is look at how they are signing. They're signing everyone, left, right, and center. I'm not saying they are not good players, but they're signing everyone. They are just trying a trial and error method where they can get the right kind of players and they can deliver. But Arteta is not trying such things. We have had 3 or 4 targets and we are just focused on 3 or 4 of them. If you've seen, and whichever player, he has wanted so far, he has gotten those players. Don't you see that? He wanted Gabriel.
No, I do see it, but in this day and age, it's, Harvey will know as a Man United fan. Harvey will know as a Man United fan. Unfortunately, it's not just football. When players take a pitch these days, it's business against business, because that's what it is now.
I think Harvey would also
a business sense. That's why a lot of the teams are looking at younger players. Rather than giving the likes of Ozil a multi-million pound deal at the age of 28, 29, if you go at the younger players, it'd be cheaper, and you'll have longer stint at the club, and you have hungry young players, right?
But Harvey would also.
Before I go any further, Natesh, my good mate Dusty again has just been texting me while I'm on the phone. So I give him a big thumbs up, and
big up, Dusty.
Spread the love, because it's people like that in which we need to help your channel, my channel, and Harvey's channel, I suppose.
Sure, and I think Harvey right now needs a hairstylist as well. But Harvey isn't just adding one point on the other side of things. Isn't this business mindedness and spending money on players that are only young players, which may or may not be capable enough to be Manchester United players, the main problem that Manchester United has right now? They are going left, right, and center and getting anyone and everyone that they think will be a good business, and rather than be getting good football players that fit into the club. Like Adam is trying to say that it has to be business, but I think that is the old Kroenke style of things. With Edu and these guys coming into Arsenal, that is changing now. And I think you would agree that this is one of the main reasons why you want the Glazers out. They are only focusing on business.
They're taking money out of the club. That's it. That's all I can say. They're not really investing as much as they should be into the club. In fact, they're taking money. I don't know if it's true or not, but they've taken money out of our club to pay for a transfer of another team in America, the New York Patriots, to pay for a contract or a transfer for the player. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it's not right, and it's not fair on us, because we're in a bit of a problem now. We don't know if we're going to get Sancho or not. We don't even know if we're going to get a £20 million left back or not. We're in a bit of I'm scared going into this season with United, because I don't think they're ready.
Okay,
it's crazy.
Okay.
But
here's my point. Yes, here's my point. In a prime example of my point. when Van Dijk went to Liverpool, right? I've just seen the some of the comments in the chat, and yeah, I've had a couple of beers, but my point still exists. Yeah. When Van Dijk went to Liverpool, how much did he go to Liverpool for? 70, 80 million?
No, he went for less,
70,
I think.
80 million. He went to
70,
Liverpool.
80 million.
Yeah.
It was 75 mil.
Yeah. 75, was it? At that
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
we were like,
Yeah.
are you mad?
1 million.
You know, are you mad paying that much for a centre half? Right? Roll on what, 4 years? Roll on 4 years, and how much could Liverpool sell him for now?
Over there, they could sell him for about 100, 200.
Yeah, exactly. And that is my point. That is my point regarding business. If it's a sell on value, which Declan Rice has definitely got a sell on value if he progresses the way he's been going. Partey has not really got a sell on value.
Yeah.
And that is my point all along. And that is what I've been hearing, that the Arsenal board are not really convinced that Partey is a good deal long term. And that is why they put the foot on the brake, because he don't really have a sell-on value after 2 or 3 years.
See, that is understandable that he doesn't have the sell on value right now. But the problem is that Arteta is not managing the team in that sense. He's getting the players that he needs right now. If you've seen, we needed the centre backs. That is why we got the centre backs. We need OR as well. OR, as I said, was a bigger priority because we need creativity. I have been saying this since the time. Yeah.
Hang on 1 second. Those centre backs, how old are they?
They are young players. Gabriel is young.
Right.
Around
so they
20.
got sell-on value.
Yeah.
If they progress the way they've been going, they got massive sell-on value. AOUAR, how old is he? 23, 24?
Yes, something like that.
Massive sell-on value.
Yeah.
That is the point I'm trying to make here. And that is what I've never understood. If that is the transfer policy of Arsenal, of going down the young route, young hungry players, cheaper obviously, right? And with potential sell-on value in the end. That is why I've never understood why they didn't show much interest in Declan Rice, but yet they've been unsettling Thomas Partey at the age of 28.
See, again, because you want someone to have a resale value does not mean all of your players, every damn player in your squad will be 18, 19, 20 or 21. This is the mistake that Wenger made. All his players were more or less kids. So one or two experience. Why would Liverpool go for a Thiago Alcantara then?
Why do you think Ferguson, and when he was Man United boss, why do you think that he had so long a success period? Because the class of 92 went in, basically they were half a team under the age of 22. They had 10 years. Okay, he had to update it as the time went on. But the base of the team was very, very young. And that is why they had such a long period of success.
As you said, they had half a team which was under 22, but the rest of the half wasn't. Exactly the point that I'm making. Most of our team is already young. We have Martinelli, we have Saka. Let's go from the front. We have Eddie Nketiah. We have in midfield, if you see, I don't know whether Guendouzi will stay or not. We have Guendouzi. If Willock develops, okay, Emily Smith-Rowe. We got good quality players. At the back now, we got so many defenders who are 22, 23. We had a goalkeeper who was younger, but okay, we got another one. We got Runnison, who's our backup goalkeeper. If he can improve, he can also be. They both are like around 26, but then goalkeeper has an age bar there. So we got a lot of young players, but now we need some experience in midfield as well. We just can't have 18, 19-year-olds being the defensive midfielders and the dirty kind of players.
I'm going to go to the bloody. I'm going to go to fridge for another beer.
Yeah.
How old is El Nani? How old is he?
I think he's 27, around that age. I just need to confirm.
There you go. So there's your experience then, isn't it?
He's 28. El Neni doesn't play the
So
forward
there's your
ball.
experience. You answered your own question.
He has the experience of passing the ball to the goalkeeper. That is his best asset.
Nonsense.
Matteo Guendouzi is better than El Neni.
Are you mad?
He's
Matteo
not better than.
Guendouzi.
He's not better.
He's better than El Neni.
I think he's got
better.
a lot of
He has a lot of learning to do.
potential.
He has a lot of learning to do. But his forward play is way better than El Neni. El Neni can't even touch his, you can say, tie his laces in terms of his forward play. Matteo Guendouzi has way better forward play than El Neni. El Neni is a better shot stopper. He's better defensively, but Guendouzi is a better ball carrier. He's a better passer of the ball. He can play those through balls. El Neni couldn't hit a sitting target if he had to. He was given 100 chances to do so. If he had to play the ball back to the goalkeeper, he would do it in one chance.
How much? What Arsenal? When Arsenal put the Guendouzi offer to Atleti, how did it work out? How much they rated Guendouzi? Around about what? 20 million, was it?
I think Arsenal wanted 40. They rated him at 20.
Yeah. So it was 20 plus Guendouzi.
Harvey's reminding me of that Ring movie where she sits in front of a mirror and she does her hair the whole time. Go ahead, Adam.
No. So what was that? I can't remember. The offer fucking months ago. I can't wait till the end of his transfer window. So what was it? It was 20 million cash plus Guendouzi. Basically.
Yes. That was the
right.
that was.
So how much? They only had him for about 3 or 4 million, didn't they?
Yes, he was very cheap.
Yeah, very cheap. So, if you look at the business side of things, surely it could well be the best time to sell Guendouzi because he's not going to get into the team, and when he's not in the team, his stock will drop.
Yeah.
And they will make the most profit getting rid of him now. But if he's not in Arteta's plans and he becomes a bloody, someone sitting in a stand for a season,
See, that is the thing. I don't think that they feel that he's done with his career. If they feel that if he can change his attitude, he can definitely come into the team. He's barely 21 right now. So if that is the case, then comes your logic again. The same thing that you were saying. Have youngsters around the team. 21 years old, Guendouzi right now. Why don't you keep him for a long time? Even if he doesn't give you any value, he will leave on a free. No worries. We'll lose some, maybe we'll lose the chance of making 10 odd million for him. But the thing is then, he can at least contribute in some way. He may play in some of the other games that are needed. And if he can improve his attitude, we can have him back in the team.
Zaka came back. Natesh, the PR machine of Arsenal have been going into overdrive since Arteta have come into the job. Right, because we know what happened with Freddie, we know what happened with Unai Emery, and the later years of Wenger. If a PR machine is to be believed, Guendouzi is a real bad egg, and I'm really wondering whether he's just past the point of no return regarding with Arteta.
See, that is the thing. If that was the case, they would have let him go for 20 odd million as well, because they were anyways making profit out of the deal. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say?
If you I am understanding. But on the other hand, why didn't I think his attitude has scared a lot of clubs away. I think he feels the likes of Villarreal is beneath him. If I'm honest with you,
he has a right to feel that. He has a right to feel that. I'll tell you why.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's his opinion. Football is all about opinions. But at the end of the
yeah,
day,
yeah,
I think he's past the point of no return with Arteta. And sometimes
yeah.
in life, and working life, and personal life, sometimes you need to take one step back to make gain 2 steps forward.
Yeah.
And there's not many takers out there for Guendouzi. There's not many takers, and I think it's surprising, really. I think it's
And
surprising.
one update I'll give you: Van Dijk's current market value, according to the website, I think Transfer Market or Euro Football Rumors, it is 72 million pounds right now. So it's not decreased too much.
72.
Yes, 72.
72.
The market value, yes.
How old is he, Ben?
28 or 29. Wait, I'll just confirm that as well.
I think he's 29 years old, but the thing is, the market
29.
Yeah, but how much? Okay, but how much has he made Liverpool during the time he's been there?
Yes, I understand that, but what I was saying is his market value has not gone up, but it hasn't decreased too much.
Okay,
Yeah.
But when I'm on about how much money he brings into the club, it's not just the price he's at the moment, because every player gets older. It's also how much money as his performances made Liverpool ever since he got there. You're talking Champions League runners-up, Champions League winners, Premier League winners. You're talking hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds.
And when Liverpool signed him, wasn't he at around 26 years old?
Yeah.
There you see.
Sorry?
He was 26, around 26 when Liverpool signed him.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Ronaldo and Rooney now.
So basically, if they sold it now, they break even on the price, basically, that's what you're saying. Yeah? They break even on the price. Give or take 2-3 million either way. However, the amount of money his performances and in the Liverpool shirt has made that club, you're talking.
That is why Liverpool can look to sign Thiago Alcantara, such players who can also do the same. That is why Arsenal can look to sign a Thomas Partey, who may be 28, but even if he has 4 to 5 good years, we can win a few titles and we make that money back. So that is the business side of things that you. Yes, if we are able to win even one league title, I think we make that money back in 5 years. 43 million. We're not paying 75 million.
I hope that we are all going to be YouTube friends in 5 years. Going on some of your WhatsApp messages, I don't know. Right, on Facebook messages, I don't know. I may tell you to fuck off within a year. But anyway, right? Right? But you really, as an Arsenal fan, Harvey, you can come in on this as a United fan as well. As an Arsenal fan, do you really think you're going to win the league within 5 years?
Harvey is asking you.
No, I'm asking you first, Atesh.
Okay, you're asking me. In 5 years. With this team, if we make the right changes, yes, we can win in the 5 years, next 5 years.
Bollocks. Yes or no answer would be all right. And then Harvey can come in after. And he can say the same. I'll ask him the same question regarding United at the moment.
I think we can, with the players that we have signed and the players that we are looking to sign, we can. And the way that Manchester City is struggling right now, anything can happen. Manchester City is struggling now. Only Liverpool is a threat, but they aren't signing right. So if another team who signs right steps up, we can win it in the next 5 years. That is why I have been saying. One last thing I have been saying
about next 5 years. Okay, Natesh, sorry, one moment. Natesh, do you think Man United will win the league in the next 5 years?
If they get Sancho this season, I said they will challenge for it and probably they can win it.
Okay, Harvey, Man United and Arsenal next 5 years, do you think they'd win the league?
I think with Arsenal, it's going to be hard because they've got an aging Aubameyang. We don't know what he's going to be like in a couple of years' time. He might just drop in form, or he might not be the same Aubameyang you had. But if they can get a good replacement for him, I think then definitely, yeah, I think they can challenge for the Premier League.
Okay, well, I'm willing to put. What do I am willing to put a nice little lump deal bet with Natesh, because I know Natesh likes a little bet on the side, right? I'm willing to say and to bet that Everton will win the league before Arsenal do next time.
Okay.
What do you think,
Like in
Harvey?
how?
They look good. They do look good, Everton. They look dangerous.
In how many 100 years, Adam? But you forgot to mention that.
No, I was alive during the day from 1982 to 1987, but the league title never left Merseyside. It was Liverpool, Everton, Liverpool, Everton, Liverpool, Everton. Right?
You seriously
I'm telling
you
you now,
seriously
and
think?
you know,
Yeah.
and you know the thing about this is
Yeah.
that the Everton new owners now were actually both on the board of Arsenal.
Of Arsenal.
Until
Yes.
Kroenke told them to fuck off.
Yes, they sold their shares and left. I know, Osmanov. But the point is not that. The point is, do you really think Everton is that Everton which you're comparing to the one in the 90s? Do you seriously think that this Everton is that good? It's nowhere near to that. Yes, they have had some good games.
They move into a new stadium. They move into a new stadium in the Albert Dock, right?
Yeah.
Which will bring in more funding.
Yeah.
Right, and I know that Usmanov officially isn't involved in Everton, but we all know that he's behind it.
Yeah.
And I can really see Everton winning the league before Arsenal. I really can.
So you think Everton will win the league in the next 5 years?
Simply because of the way the Kroenkes are running Arsenal. I think they're running Arsenal to the ground, if I'm honest with you.
So you think they will be winning the league in the next 5 years?
No, but what I said, my point being, may not be 5 years, maybe longer than that, but they will win the league before Arsenal. Because I really do think the Kroenkes are running Arsenal into the ground. And I do feel, even though I take banter and everything with Arsenal fans, I do feel sorry for Arsenal fans, because I got no confidence in the Kroenkes.
Okay, and we will wrap it up in like 5 more minutes, Harvey. We'll wrap it up at 2.5. So yeah, Adam, what I want to say is, if Arsenal wins the league before Everton, you are gonna sponsor me a hooker every day of the damn month for 30 days.
Do you want a Russian, Spanish, or Colombian? Which one do you want?
That I'll finalize once I'm in Spain. Don't worry.
Well, no, I'll tell you what. I did mention this to Sam the other day.
Yeah.
We basically got a YouTube kind of group now. I call it YouTube family.
We are not doing a gangbang.
We're all trying to help each other out.
We are not doing a gangbang.
I know. Oh, well, hang on. I know John has gone down to Gibraltar now, but I hope one day that we all like got good numbers with subscribers and sponsors and so on. But we'll all go on a holiday together and just have a crazy video, which would include Russian hookers, Colombian hookers, and everything else.
Yeah, that video is going to definitely get age restricted then.
Anyway, let's leave it there, because I need to go back to the toilet.
The way you are taking the piss today, it seems like there's someone in the toilet waiting there for you.
Hang on.
But yeah,
before
sure.
I come back there, Chadwick needs to. I've just seen Chadwick's comment.
I think he was talking about the Premier League.
Yeah. Everton has never won the league. Premier League, yeah. But Chadwick needs to remember that Everton, before Wenger, won the league far more times than Arsenal ever did. right? And Everton, after High Show in 1985, and the European ban on that, Everton were the worst hit because they were going to go on and win the what is now called the Champions League. That is how
Could
good they
have.
were.
Could have.
No. They were by far the best team in Europe. 1987,
Could have.
1985 to 1987, they were by far the best team in Europe.
Could
By
have
a
won
country
it.
mile. By a country mile. And so for Chadwick to say Everton's never won the league, Chadwick, I love you to bits. I know you wind me up at times.
He's
I probably
corrected
wind you up at times, but
PL,
please.
Premier League.
But please, research your history before you make any comments like that. Nonsense.
No, he was talking about the Premier League. He said Premier League. So that is what I said.
Oh,
they have
right,
not won the
okay.
Premier League.
Well, hang on. Well, Blackburn won the Premier League in '94. Leicester
Yeah,
won
yeah,
the Premier League in 2012 or whatever it was.
15, 16, I think.
Well, whenever it was.
Yeah.
You know, the point is absolutely invalid. The point being is that former Arsenal directors who were willing to pump millions and billions into Arsenal, where Kroenke told them to fuck off, have now gone to Everton and they're going to be sticking two fingers up to Arsenal and saying, you know what, you didn't want our money, you told us to fuck off, and we're going to win the league before you. And I'm telling you that's going to happen.
Either those former owners, board of directors are going to stick it up to the Kroenkes, or I'll be sticking it up to 30 hookers that you're getting me. So
well, as long as you don't stick it up my ass, Nitesh, we're all right.
I do a lot of berserk things, but I don't do one of those things. So don't worry about it.
Because I got piles and I don't want anything going up my ass. Thank you very much.
I think you have enough luxury and enough lubrication there to manage that. But yes, Chadwick is saying they won.
I'll catch you later.
Sure. Chadwick is saying that Everton won the league 9 times before the Premier League. But yes, obviously, since the Premier League era, they have not won the league. So there is no doubt about that. And we will quickly be wrapping it up. Adam, do you have a minute?
How many times did Man United win the Premier League?
We'll have to just
go on. Right, I'm going to listen. I'll have a minute, but I need a pee, right?
Sure, come back soon.
You're coming into the toilet with me. You're coming into the toilet with me. Piss off.
You can come back. You can come back, and then we will.
No, I'm on the toilet now. What? Come on.
He's gonna pee on a live video now. That's the only thing that was left for Patrick to do.
Come on, bloody! Ask your question.
Yeah. So, Adam, I was asking you that do you think Everton will win the league in the next decade, or how long do you think they will win it approximately?
Yeah. I think the moment they move from Goodson Park to the Docklands,
okay,
I think it will probably win it within 3 years after that. I think the date of them going to move into the dock, I think it's about 2 or 3 years time. I think.
Okay.
So I'm guessing in the next 7-8 years.
Okay. Hopefully you pull that zipper up in the right place and don't scream about it later.
Well, you know what? Just because of the people watching, I'm going to flush the toilet after the fucking show, so that they don't. No, but okay. I went to Marbella, didn't I? I sent you photos. I went to Marbella Football Club yesterday.
Yep. So, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah. Unfortunately, proper amateur action this is. I went to Marbella in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
Thinking that I could get into the ground, not realizing that the ground was bloody shut. But what I want to do, and with the help of John as well, when I'm in Gibraltar, everyone knows I'm in the Marbella area, south of Spain.
Yeah.
Basically, I want to do a show where I'm going on into over the grounds within probably at the moment, a radius of 100 kilometers from me,
Yeah.
and do a show every week where I am giving a bit of history of the ground, history of the team or teams that play there, and a different perspective really. And John has agreed that when I do Victoria Stadium in Gibraltar, that he will come. But proper amateur yesterday. I turned up at Marbella Football Club, and it was shit. It was shit.
So adding to that, can you just give a shout out to your channel as well? Harvey needs to go as well. So let's wrap it up.
Brownie. I don't know why. But yesterday I had more shout outs, more subscribers in one day than I did ever. I don't know why. It's probably because my language on some of my videos, I just want to crack really.
Okay.
So Football Brownie on YouTube, Football Brownie on Facebook. Please subscribe. I don't earn anything of it, but I enjoy doing it. I'm 42 years old, and it's like I want to finally be paid for something I enjoy in life, which is football. So there you go.
And where can people find you, Harvey? Thank you so much, Adam, once again for coming on.
Yeah, thanks again for having me on again, Nitesh. And it's been good talking to you as well, Adam. You can find me at Daily Transfer News on YouTube and the same on Twitter.
Thank you, Harvey, for coming on as well. We will hopefully have another chat soon. And thank you, everyone, for watching. You can find me here on Beyond the Post. And if any more updates are coming in, I will definitely give it to you. In the meantime, be home and be safe. Thank you guys for tuning in, and goodbye.